You have two people that would like to reach out to you before Christmas is here. No matter what holiday you celebrate, if it's any, this time frame of year brings out the best and worst in people. But there's somebody who one person is ready. They see you of value. This is a person that knew you before your glow up of life, before you really saw fully the corruption. You met this person when you had rose-colored tinted glasses on. You were young. And it's been years since you've spoken to this person. That's one person that wants to reach out to you right now. Got a lot to say. Just channeling their energy, it felt like they've really cleansed and purified themselves in recent times. But another person has bottled up emotions. This person's fiery. This person is a whole different... This is a passionate, like a furious vibe with this one that has a lot to say to you, but at the same time keeps their emotions very bottled. So you shook up a big core of them. This was a person that had a lot of safety measures put against you. Every time they felt themselves getting vulnerable with you, that's when they would pull back. But it's been enough time. So I have two people reaching out to you before Christmas is here. This is a festive time of the year, and we're gonna be festive. Just wait. I have some stuff I'm waiting to come in the mail. This is a person that it's not... Okay, for the two energies, one of the individuals is not a soul tie. It's something that brought you a lot of comfort and peace. But it's not that it's not a soul tie. You weren't sure what this person is. You're like, is this person my twin flame? Is this person my divine? You've gone back and forth, and now you kind of threw away the need to even know with this person. Like, you've been at peace with fate that this one isn't going to reach out. But that's the thing. They are. And this other person, they wake up thinking about you. Both of their energies are catalysts. I mean, now it's almost like I feel bouncing, like they feel their energy bouncing off another person. They feel like you're entertaining many dynamics in your life. You're a person of value, and you allow value to guide you. This is interesting energy. This is still but exciting. I think in recent times you very much became completely in control. Not only, we'll definitely take those cards. This is going to be for now, though. Yeah, you've became completely in control of your finances. So there's a divinely guided career reading within this dynamic as well. A very successful project. This is going to embrace the gold within you. This is interesting energy. Let's get into this. Wow. This is a very beautiful, very intense reading. You remember, guys, I have many clusters here, and I have cards. These cards are a love reading. I would suggest if you're here just for a love reading, skip the part like 3 or 4. I already know that these cards, these are two separate clusters of my collectives at different points of life, and it's career reading. And I know these two are going to take anywhere between part 1 all the way to 3, or part 1 all the way to part 4. So, if you're not feeling called to listen to a career reading, skip to that part. The ones of you here who are called to start at the beginning, I have 2 people here, or I have 2 different energies. You'll know which cluster you fall in. You're part of the same collective. A big part of you are younger. You're younger. You're, for the most part, under the age of 40. And you're going through a pivotal point where you're getting pushed and triggered for further growth to leave a job that is not serving you. And now I have a train going past me. You might be able to hear it. A job that is no longer serving you. You are settling with your worth with this. And you know it. But you need that extra oomph. I don't remember last time I heard the fucking train this close. You guys have to hear this. Like, I haven't heard the train in forever in a reading. This is for the younger ones who have settled in their career. It's not even a career. You settled in a job. And you know you meant for more. And you need that extra oomph. These are about the cluster of you who you don't necessarily have to be older than the age of 40. Remember, these are collective takes what resonates. But you've hit the point where you, at this current time in your life, you're financially successful. You're living your highest timeline. You're following your dreams. My friends, the ones who aren't fully there yet, you are attached to these people. These people know what it was like to be here. This is where you make who you are. This is where you learn to be the leader that you never had. To be bigger than what happened around you. My friend, we're going to start with the individuals who have hit their highest timeline and are continuing to go with it. Hitting your highest timeline is not 1, 2, 3, 4 and you're there. That means being in flow with the universe. Holding confidence and knowing that you're exactly enough, no matter how big, small, etc. you are. You know you're in flow. And you embrace bad vibes. What do I mean by that? Not that you influence it. Not that you allow it into your life. You are not about shits and rainbows. You know there is a black, white, and in between in life. And you have to discern which, where, why. And intuition, your spirit guides, your life experience all play hand in hand with this. My individual is here who have learned to multitask is what I hear. You thrive in controlled chaos. A lot of you here are your own bosses, entrepreneurs, or you have a title in a job in a field where you hold so much independency. You are here listening to this to see where you are now, reflect on where you were for this. To see where you are now, reflect on where you were from, because these individuals are at that time that you surpassed. You also have a deeply, deeply fruitious offer being presented to you before December is over, involving the next step of your career. Fast forward movement. Somebody's got their eyes on you and they want to invest in you. This is going to take a lot of trust both ways. And it's fruitious. You know you've experienced enough bad deals, good deals, people that are part of your vibration, and then one day you wake up and they are off, versus one where you're like, this is good. This sticks. It's not sticky, it sticks. You know the difference between the feeling of sticky and the feeling of sticking. You see, this job, business opportunity, contract, offer, raise, however it resonates, it's going to be like Velcro. easily can rip it off, right? But it's so fucking strong when it's together. It's not like tape or etc. where it's hard. You put it on and it's hard to get off. And then once you rip it off, you can't really use it again. That's not this relationship. You're going to flourish. This is going to be years and years and years of flourishing, communicating, expanding together. All of you will make money, but it's more than that. This is about restoring your faith also in humanity. You have restored others' faith in humanity. Understand that is not something light. There is a reason so many people love being around you, with you, because they can feel that you were in the bottom of the well and you climbed up and you almost paved the path for others. You pulled out certain bricks to make pockets to grip and get up way safer than you were able to. You've been able to take out the bullshit. You see the bricks that are too much. Individuals see the bigger perspective. You see, you don't have to choose between real world and fantasy. There's a difference between being and living in a state of manifestation versus a state of delusion. It's a big difference, and it is a thin line at first. It really is. When you're still getting in touch with your life and figuring out what the fuck does it even mean to live in my highest timeline? What the fuck does it mean to be in control of my law of attraction? What does it mean to manifest? You remember all of that time. You're here. And for the individuals of you who are here waiting to hear this part, this is your future. Do you understand? Do not accept less. Do not let anybody get in your head and tell you you're not enough. I don't care if it was a boss, a sibling, a teacher, a parent, a best friend, a spouse. I don't care who it is. And it's not fuck them. Thank them for showing you how strong you are. Thank them for showing you what not to become. And I'm being very called at the end of this reading, after we're done with the spiritual part, not even the end of this reading, end of the career reading, before we start into love. I'm being very called. So at the end of that part 3, part 4, to tell you my own personal life experience. For the ones here, for even a little more extra motivation. I'm going to make sure I do the spiritual understandings first. Therefore, if you want to stick at the end for that extra oomph, or if you would like to skip forward to the continuation of the reading, but one of you here at least, I know there's more than one. But when I say one, I'm seeing so many of you. You are the one, we're all connected, that needs to hear another representation of somebody got themselves out of the gutter. You can too. My friend, this opportunity presenting itself before December is over is going to take making compromises in the best way. Like this is a back and forth balance, give and take. There's going to be a testing of sort on both sides to see is there weak or false leadership, and you're both going to pass with flying colors. This isn't like tests, like trick questions. This is obvious daily task. Are you about the money, or are you about the reason behind this? And see that money is one of the 3D world gifts from it. You're able to continue forward when you do things for the right reasons. You're able to get more money when you're doing things for the right reasons. Or when you do things for the right reasons. You're able to get more money when you're doing things for the right reasons. So this opportunity is going to take you also what I'm seeing is many different directions. So this could be physically going on a plane. This could be having your toes dipped in many different types of companies as well. Some form of like freelance. Interesting. This could even be something to do with like photography, news work, etc. Collective takes what resonates. But needless to say, this opportunity, Spirit's saying yes. Do not let the parasite win. You have so many times done the leap of faith before. This is no different. You have the torch. You have something this company needs, and they have an opportunity for you to receive. For my individuals who understand this is their highest timeline, this is your future. You are not holding hope of this being your future. You are holding faith and truth that this is your future. This is your now. Manifestation is speaking as is. Not as we want or desire to be. But it's also thinking, existing, being, and moving as is. It's not just speaking things or thinking them. It's imperative. You can't skip that part, but you got to get yourself out there. For my individuals who are currently settling for a timeline that is far beneath what you are meant to do here, this is the reason you have settled. There's been a lot of deceit in your life. A lot of you here just wanted to get out of your parents' house. So bad. So bad. But it wasn't because you just wanted to go party and do this stuff. You felt trapped. You felt like you were walking on eggshells all the time. There could have been, there's collective takes resonates, but there was like different forms of mental, physical abuse, etc. for all of you. But no matter what, the intensity of what I'm feeling, the discomfort, it was bad no matter what it was. Neglect and emotional, physical abuse, all of it, no matter what it is, you have to, that word gets inserted in there, something's not cool. Something's fucked up. I sent a person who, it was like a ticking time bomb with you. So many things went under the rug and passed off that you would blow up and then you get called crazy or etc. This is a lot of you here, this had to be with like absolutely being young and deciding not to go forth with a job that would be suited for your heart. You went forth with a job that would make you the money then to get out of your parents' house or the situation you were in. It's very understandable. I mean, it's understandable. You said, I'm young, I have a lot of life to live, I'll figure it out. And then years and years and years go by and it ain't that simple. But the reason you settled for wherever you are now is because at this point in your life, it's probably one of the most stable jobs you've ever had. But even with saying that, it's not stable. You're not making the money you are deserving of. This world is not about money. But if you want to live a comfortable life, if you want to have something to leave, if you want to be able to take care of the ones that are everything to you, you have to care about money. But you never let it become the ultimate number one thing. The only reason money matters is because what you can do with it. That is it. I promise you, you hold that and follow your dreams and the money will find you. Because you tell Spirit, I am somebody you grant that with, I will do more than expand this world with it. Right now, I need you to understand, wherever you're working, a lot of you, you're one of the most hardest working people in this building. They wanted me to say industry, but something for you to center focus on is that building you're in. For ones of you where it's even an out, now I'm seeing some form of construction work and etc. So take the representation of the building for you as that barrier when you get into that work compound or blocked off area, you see the caution tape or etc., the cones. That is where your building starts. The money is hit or miss every single day. There are a lot of thorns around you. You have a leader who is extremely deceitful, a boss, etc., that knows how hard of a work you are, but doesn't want you to know it because that's how they keep control. You've had many, many bosses like this. Many bosses like this, but this is one of the worst. This person you have a boss who does not want people to move up past them. They will purposely put people down or even take away or take credit even for the hard work they did to keep them in a low position. I need you to understand a establishment will only be as successful as the management. It does not matter if you have the best, most skilled fucking workers in the world. They're gonna get fucking tired of it, like you have. I can feel it. And say bye. You're not gonna try your hardest after a certain point, no matter what. Because you hit that point. I need you to understand that this is not the end of all. This is not where you are stopping. You are not settling. You are getting the fire lit under your ass in the best of ways because Spirit's not letting you settle. They're saying that this part is over. You are deserving of so much more and you cannot expand where you are now. It served a purpose. Everything happens the way it's supposed to. You were meant to be here. You met certain people here that changed your life. You learned lessons here that changed your life, but it's done. You are getting to a point where you're about to have what I call the volcano effect. Bursting out and defending yourself, but it coming off in such a way where people are able to say that was crazy or etc. Understand, by picking yourself, quitting a job that no longer serves, and I'm not saying every single person here in front of me quit your job. You know these are collective and takes what resonates. But stating to yourself, if this is a place you no longer desire to be, no, you're not supposed to be there. And you have a little bit extra time though where you're like, I have to do this. I have to be here. If you set the mindset of I'm done, and you do the 3D world actions like applying for new jobs, so only jobs you truly desire to have, because you're not going to move from one bullshit job to another. We're upgrading. And the first way of upgrading is telling the universe and putting yourself in the positions for what you truly are aligned with. In the positions for what you truly are aligned with, not what you are settling with. For the ones of you here where you are in a living situation where you could fucking quit and you'd be fine and safe, before you hit your volcano moment, fucking quit this shit. And know you are meant for something more. It is great. It is great and imperative to make sure that you go forth with jobs that truly align with who you are. It is great to have a job when you go into an interview, but it's not the end all if you don't. Somebody needed to hear that. A lot of you have undying loyalty to people who would replace you in an hour. And I'm talking about companies. And that has nothing to do with your worth. That says everything to do about them. You are going to leave this when you are ready. But a lot of you here, this feeling could have been even, it almost feels like you could have already a lot of you here maybe just left this job. And this is like confirmation that you made the right decision. And for the ones of you here who are still, you're resonating with this and you're like, it's not yet time, that's making that compromise with manifestation. But you got to make those steps. You got to do them or nothing's going to change. I promise you, do not settle in life. Go forth your dreams. You have to take care of your body and etc. as well. Spirit's only going to bring you more if you're nurturing and being nutritious to yourself. Now I'm going to be a bearer of good news for you. And if for the individuals here who were only staying for the career reading and would like to continue on to the love and not have this 3D world, like kind of just one-on-one, human-to-human conversation, go ahead and skip to the next part. Okay, my friend. Before I started pursuing my dream and doing what I was meant to do in this world, I'm not going to name the establishment. I'm not going to name the person. But I worked at many, many places that were not meant for me. I've done every single field you can think of. Basically, that took no degree. I have seen every type of boss, etc., yada yada. And a lot, what I learned during those times is that the boss, that energy, that person, that face will change, but the energy will transfer. You can see their face. Every single boss you had that reminded you of the last one, and etc., showed you a pattern that you didn't realize at that time, but you completely will be able to connect now. Back to the 3D world example. This one establishment, one of the last jobs I had before doing this, I had one of the most horrible bosses I had ever experienced. He loved belittling people. It was disgusting. He loved to make people feel unworthy and call out the most minimal complaints or problems. This leader taught me everything of what not to be. I am so grateful for that job because I worked my fucking ass off. And it showed me, you know what? No matter how hard you work, if you're in a situation that doesn't serve you, it will not come back to you. You can only flourish as much as the building you are in. I was surrounded by people that I did truly love, but they were all settling as well. I hit my breaking point. I was going to quit that job. I had a plan on quitting that job. But I had needs. I had things to take care of. But I hit my volcano point one day. And I defended myself. And he fired me. And in that moment, I thought I fucked everything up. Another job that I failed. It was the first time I got fired. But it was not the first time I just up and left the job. I felt defeated, discouraged, useless. I remember being in the parking lot and just dropping to my knees and just putting my head down. Hey, Matt, what are you doing? That was my well. That was one.